What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm gonna do the NBA Finals preview. The NBA Finals between the Milwaukee Bucks and Phoenix Suns is about to get underway, so I'll be previewing it. I'm gonna say my predictions, who I think is gonna win the Finals MVP, who I think is gonna shine in these finals. So yeah, before we start, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, so we have two teams, the Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks, who I think no one really expected them to get to the finals. I think with the Bucks, I don't like in the beginning of the season, I really didn't expect them to make the finals. With the Nets, obviously getting James Harden and that big three, Kevin Durant, and them, and the Milwaukee Bucks defeated them a few weeks ago. So it's good. I really like. I'll be honest, is definitely one of my favorite players in this league, and it's really nice to see him, playing well. He did get injured the other night against the Atlanta Hawks, and he is listed as questionable for Game One tonight. So we'll see what happens with that. I think he they're gonna need him in this series, obviously. But what I would do with him in this series is, I think you can't risk him getting even more injured. You can't play him tonight or game two, and when you go back to Milwaukee, then start him because if he does start today, we saw it in the finals a few years ago with Kevin Durant. He came back too early. He got that injury that set him out for the next season. So with Giannis, I would really be cautious with this injury, and I think I would not play him tonight. But I don't know. They just listed him as questionable, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does play today. Because yeah, I mean they just upgraded him from I don't know what it was before, but they upgraded him to questionable. So if you're a Bucks fan, I don't really know what you want. I think Bucks fans want him to play, but I wouldn't risk this because you're gonna need him later in the series, and if you really want this, it's too risky. Yeah, I'm looking at the news right now, and yeah, they just listed him questionable. Yeah, and then we have the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul has the opportunity to get his first championship ever. If he does win this, he will go down as maybe, in my opinion, a top five point guard of all time. I it in the yeah, I think he has to win this. And if he does, I'll be really happy for him because out of all people in the NBA, I think I said this in probably a video before this, but I think of all people, he deserves it the most. He's definitely an all time great already, and this would just solidify it. So, and then we also have Carmelo Anthony, who I also think deserves a ring. But Chris Paul is here, and this is a golden chance. I think he's like 36 right now, so he's past his prime, obviously, and he's gonna decline from here. So yeah, like I said, it's a perfect opportunity. And then there's Devin Booker and all these other guys, Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, Campaign, all these young guys. It's their first playoffs. I don't know about Campaign, but because Campaign did play for the Thunder a few years ago, but he rarely played, and he's really shined in these playoffs. But the Suns' young team, it's really their first time in the playoffs, and they've really proved a lot of people wrong, including myself, because I said I had them out in the first round against the Lakers, and because I had them out because I didn't think they had enough experience. You look at the Lakers and some other teams, even the Clippers, they have a lot of playoff experience on their teams, but look at the Suns. They really only have Jay Crowder and Chris Paul with the most experience. You have these other guys, Booker and them. They don't have as much. They've proved everyone wrong, and I think I have them winning. No, no. I'll get to my prediction later. I'm still deciding if I'm gonna have. I haven't really made a prediction yet because I said I've had the Suns, but then I've also said I have the Bucks. So I have to come down to one team, and it's really hard with the Giannis situation. I don't know, and just the Suns, just their all around team. Like they've been so good in the playoffs. But yeah, I think like Jay Crowder, for example, and Chris Paul, those two guys, they've really led this team well, and they're leaders, because they have probably the most experience uh, out of everyone. And even Chris Paul, he hasn't even been to the finals yet in his career. This is the first time he's been to the finals. So yeah, yeah, I think I don't know. I have no clue who to say who's gonna win because it all depends really on Giannis. I don't know if Giannis is gonna be 100% or not. I don't know. He's probably. I'm assuming. I mean, I have a bad feeling. Like in my opinion, he shouldn't be playing. Like I said before, but I have a really bad feeling that he will be playing today, and I would be really cautious. Maybe he'll be on a minutes restriction, which if you're at least gonna play him, I'd at least put him on a minutes restriction because you do have Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday who can who as they proved in the last game against the Hawks, Game 6, they proved that they can do it by themselves. But for the whole series, I don't think they will be able to. But just maybe the first 2 games, you can risk going down 2-0 and then Giannis coming back for Game 3 in Milwaukee, um, to win that. So I mean to win those two. So I think you can risk it. It will be more difficult. You can't risk your star player. Like, these injuries, they've really had a big impact again on some guys. Like you saw Kawhi go down with injury. Giannis. Even Trae Young was having problems. Joel Embiid. So so yeah. So a lot of guys have had injury problems. AD, LeBron James, a lot of other guys. So yeah, I think like I keep saying this, you can't risk him. I think the Suns they I mean they haven't really been that impacted by injuries other than Chris Paul obviously in the first round. In just the suspension obviously against the Clippers. But if we're talking about injuries, if these more injuries appear, I mean the Suns, I think they'll win. But it all depends on Giannis. It all depends on Giannis. But yeah, some guys, like I said, I will be looking at to step up are obviously Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. In the playoffs, like there's been some games like where they play so well, but then there's been some where they play horrible. So I mean that this is when Giannis is on the court. Like sometimes like Chris Middleton, he'll just disappear. Sometimes Drew Holiday, he'll disappear. But without Giannis, most of the time they really do appear. But if Giannis is playing, he's gonna need the help of these guys, and they're gonna need to show up in this series. And I think like the Bucks' success, it lies like a lot of it is determined on how well these two play. This is, in my opinion, this is basically a big three. Drew, I mean, they've shown Drew Holiday has shown that he is kind of at that All-Star level. I wouldn't say exactly, but he can play as a near All-Star level. And say Chris Middleton is a certified All-Star. I just find him really inconsistent sometimes. You could still be an All-Star but be inconsistent, but he's not on the level of some other guys, like elite level of like the Klay Thompson shooter type player. But yeah, I'll be looking for them to do well. I mean, and then I think in terms of of a team, I think the Suns have the better team. If you look at their bench, they have some really good depth. They have some guys like Payne, Saric, Craig, some really good guys there. When I look at the Bucks, you got Connaughton, you got Forbes, you got, I don't know if I'm yeah, I don't know. I must be skipping someone, but you got some good guys. You got some good guys on the Bucks. You know, but yeah, so yeah, Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, they're the key to the Bucks' success. I think. I'm just looking at the rosters here, real quick. Oh yeah, and so I mean, I just think the Suns' bench is just better. Like I don't, but then the reason I think the Bucks could contend is because of guys like Giannis, and they have a lot of, like, Giannis is a top 5 player in the league in my opinion. Oh yeah, and then so I'm looking at the bench right now. You got, I mean, they like in the playoffs. You know how they really limit down to like about 8-player rotation, 9-player rotation. I mean, and in the last few games, I think Bobby Portis has been, with Giannis out. Bobby Portis has filled his role perfectly. I don't know. I think he had like 20 in the last game, or like 10. Like he really played. He played really well. I remember, and that's if Giannis is out and he can step up, that's gonna be big. And even if Giannis is out, Portis will be on the bench. But adding him to the bench, that's even better. I think he was a great signing for the Bucks, and I think he'll be used a lot in this series, obviously. Um, but yeah, just the Sun. Just I think now that I think I'm gonna say Suns in 7. My prediction is Suns in 7. I don't see if Giannis does return, he's not going to be 100%. And he's I'm rooting for the Bucks in this series. I really like Giannis. He's definitely one of my favorite players. I hope the Bucks win. I think, but if CP3 wins his first ring, I'll be happy for him as well. But I really like Giannis. But I think when I look at the two teams, I think the Suns just have the better team. And if you look at Booker in these playoffs, he's just been so good. And guys off the bench like Campaign, I've really enjoyed watching the Phoenix Suns. And just Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker. I can't believe it's their first time in the playoffs and they're playing this well. I didn't expect it at all. But yeah, I'm gonna say Suns in 7 games. I think it's gonna be a great series. But yeah, I mean, I thought if Giannis was healthy, I think I'd say Bucks in 7. But now that he has that injury, I don't think he'll be 100% for this one. But I think I mean I want Giannis to get that ring. I think he'll get it later in his career if he doesn't get it here. But yeah, I mean, I think Giannis eventually. I think he will be the greatest European player of all time in the NBA. I think right now it's definitely Dirk, but I think in by the end of his career it will be Giannis. He already has 2 MVPs. A lot of people have been arguing that he already is, which I wouldn't go that far. He hasn't won a championship, and Dirk was a legend, but I think by the end of his career, Giannis will be the best European player of all time. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. The game's gonna start soon. 9 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy that. I might do a reaction to that game, so stay tuned for that. We'll highlight who played well, who we think could have done better. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to comment who you think will win the series, and how many games, Suns or Bucks, and how many games. Who do you, oh yeah, my Finals MVP, I forgot. So I have the Suns winning, and I think my Finals MVP, I think it's gonna be Devin Booker. I think it's gonna be Devin Booker. I think he's gonna drop 25 to 30 a game, something like that. And I mean, and after that, I'd have Chris Paul maybe as the runner up. I think he'll have a really good series. It's his first time in the finals, and he'll definitely be motivated. But yeah, that's it for today. If you like the video, make sure to like it. Make sure to subscribe. I'll be back later. We have Euros content tomorrow. So yeah, if you're interested in that, stay tuned. And yeah, I'll see you in the reaction.